Come see us doing live shows. We'll be in Los Angeles, Honolulu, Baltimore, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and only jimmydore.com. So I just want to show you this. Hunter Biden filmed himself smoking crack behind the wheel, driving 172 miles an hour on his way to Vegas. That guy's a legend. Am I right? He can't drive 55. And he can't drive back without smoking crack.
Classic, dude.
So I just want to show you just imagine again. Imagine if this was Trump and not Joe Biden. Imagine if this was Trump's kid, and imagine if Trump had passed a bill that put people who smoke crack in prison for life or forever, almost mandatory minimums. Imagine, because that's what Joe Biden did. Watch this. Now, this Kanoka the Great put this together. Here's Joe Biden bragging about the crime bill that throws people like his son in jail. Minimum. The judge doesn't get to decide what the sentence is. He wrote it into a law. But his son, now you're supposed to have sympathy for him.
Yeah.
But not all the people. The prisons are overflowing because Joe Biden wrote this law. But not his kid.
Yeah. Stop attacking Joe Biden because he's a great dad that loves his son. Is he a great dad that loves his son? His son seems like a scumbag crackhead.
Yeah.
That's usually not from having a great dad. I mean, maybe this is the first time ever in history.
If you have a piece of crack cocaine, no big...
See, that's why Hunter has to weigh it, because even a small amount can get you super high.
Than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand.
The little quarter.
$1/4 of $1. We passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice. Under our forfeiture.
So that,
you know what that is?
That's not saying we're going to go after the dealer. That's just someone possessing it. That's a drug addict like his son.
Hold on. Wait. So him and Thurmond, and I can't remember the other asshole. So this is right around gangster rap when it first came in. So private prisons had just come. So they probably, if I had to reverse engineer what's going on here, they got paid off by private prisons.
Right.
Who want the new tenants in the building.
Yes.
And so that's why, because we know he's a whore.
Yes.
And so they made all this machinery. By the way, the crack is here because the CIA brought it here.
That's right.
So the CIA brought crack here. Then the private prisons pay off the politicians to give you mandatory sentences for trying the crack that they brought here. And fentanyl, again, I don't think is China, and I don't think is the cartels in Mexico. I think it's the cartel here, the CIA, who uses cutouts to bring it here, like they always do.
Statutes. You can, the government can, take everything you own, everything from your car to your house, your bank account, not merely what they confiscate in terms of the dollars from the transaction that you've just got caught engaging in. They can take everything. I don't care why they've become a sociopath. We have an obligation to cordon them off from the rest of society. They are in jail, away from my mother, your husband, our families. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street.
Wow, that last part really is rubbing it in, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't care.
Your mother, your son, you dipshit. By the way, maybe you shouldn't have showered with your kids till they're 15. I mean, I don't mean to butt my nose in, but it seems like it doesn't turn out good.
Let me just sum up that last part. Hey, remember how well, first of all, here's his statement when he pardoned his kid. I'll read it to you. It says, "Today I signed a pardon for my son, Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere with the Justice Department's decision-making, and I kept my word, even as I have watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted." You're the guy in charge of the Justice Department. Without aggravating factors like use in a crime, multiple purchases, or buying a weapon as a straw purchaser, people are almost never brought to trial on felony charges solely for how they filled out a gun form. Those who were late paying their taxes because of serious addictions, but paid them back subsequently with interest and penalties, are typically given non-criminal resolutions. It is clear that Hunter was treated differently by his own Justice Department. The charges in this case came about only after several of my political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me and oppose my election. Then a carefully negotiated plea deal agreed to by the Department of Justice unraveled in the courtroom, with a number of my political opponents in Congress taking credit for... No, it's because the judge said, hey, have you ever had a deal like this ever? And they had to go, no, this is the only time we've ever done a crazy deal like this. It's for the president's son. No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's case can reach any other conclusion that Hunter was singled out only because he is my son, and that is wrong. That is not what happened. So let me sum this up for you.
You mean Hunter isn't a victim?
Yeah. Hey, remember how I'm Joe Biden. Hey, remember how my entire party and I didn't trust the vaccine when Trump was in office? You remember that? Because I do. I've showed you those videos. But then it became automatically safe and effective as soon as Joe Biden took office. Well, it's the same deal with the Justice Department, but in reverse.
I mean, he can't even really use that because he was saying they were picking on him in the first place. After you signed a bill that said just having it means you should go to prison for 5 years, he goes, no one gets prosecuted for this.
So that's the thing that to me is the most disgusting, is that Joe Biden spent his entire life locking up black and brown people for crack, the same thing his son did, and he bragged about it. Donald Trump actually released a lot of those people. He did the STEP Act, which released nonviolent drug offenders, which probably has something to do why he got the biggest percentage of black votes of any Republican in presidential history. If it was flipped the other way, the media and all my illiberal friends would be screaming about how Donald Trump is corrupting the justice system. Come see us doing live shows. We'll be in Los Angeles, Honolulu, Baltimore, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and only jimmydore.com.